What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and it is that time of year again. Samsung has announced their new line of Galaxy devices. And this year we're looking at 3 new devices, and there's actually a 4th special one, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But of course, we got the S10, the S10 Plus, and the S10e. Now, most of us are familiar with the S10 and the S10 Plus, but the S10e is the newest to the line, and it's for those folks looking for something with similar power to the 10 and 10 Plus, but who want a smaller form factor. Now, in terms of power, we're looking at a Snapdragon 845. Damn this, Austin.
So the thing is, the Galaxy S10 is pretty cool, guys. Now, not only is Jedner pretty cool because he likes green phones and he likes green-ish. Is that green?
Let's go teal.
That's a little green.
It's a little bit on the green side.
Inside.
I could do some color correcting. And as I was saying before, I was wonderfully interrupted by my buddy Austin. Each phone is going to have a Snapdragon 855 processor, as well as starting with 6 gigs of RAM with the S10e, all the way up to 12 gigs of RAM for the 1 terabyte S10 Plus. So depending on the model that you get, you're going to get from 6 gigs of RAM all the way to 12, which is just insane. And we're also getting 128 gigs of RAM on all models as the base, which is awesome because now we're out of that double-digit territory. Now we're in triple digits. 128 is the standard for Samsung devices. That's a lot of storage, guys. And you even get expandable memory with a micro SD card slot. Now, in terms of colors, there are gonna be quite a few options. We got Prism Black, Prism White, Prism Blue, and Flamingo Pink in the US. And internationally, you're gonna have that Prism Green and the yellow. And no matter what size phone you're looking for, the line covers pretty much all of the bases. The S10e has a 5.8-inch display, while the normal S10 has a 6.1, and the S10 Plus has a 6.4-inch display. And it's gonna be this pretty exclusive ceramic white and black for the highest capacity of the S10 Plus. But big kudos to Samsung for staying strong and keeping the headphone jack. Now we talked about the specs, but let's talk about what makes the phone actually special. So first off, Samsung now has the front-facing cameras in this small little cutout right in the top right corner. And they do this so that you can have a much larger display to, of course, consume your content. And I've seen this online, wasn't really sure what to think of it, but after seeing it in person, I'm a lot less worried about it. Now, of course, you've got a much bigger display, but they're actually changing up the display. Before it used to be Super AMOLED, but now I believe they're calling it Dynamic AMOLED. That's gonna allow you to watch HDR content right on your phone, have it look great. Samsung displays always look really good, so I'm very excited for this. But what's also new is that they've got this blue light reduction feature where it decreases the blue light emitted from the screen by 42%. And this isn't a filter or anything that you have to turn on. This is built into the actual display, which is great because that's gonna do less harm to our eyes when using the phone, especially at night. And I believe there's an actual feature where if you want that filter on, it actually eliminates the blue light by 99%, some crazy number, but it almost completely eliminates that blue light so that it has no damage on our eyes, which I think is very forward-thinking and awesome. Now, what's great is that 42% doesn't actually damage the color representation on the phone. It still has a very color-accurate display without having to worry about a strange color shift. Now, what's also awesome about this display is that it has a built-in fingerprint scanner, and they're calling this their ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. It's actually pretty fast, so I've got high hopes from what I've seen in the demos. So as of right now, it looks pretty promising. Now, what I really like about this fingerprint scanner is that it works even if the display is off. So as soon as you pick up your phone, your finger goes right to it, powers on the display, which is great. Now, of course, we gotta talk about the camera, and Samsung actually added a new one in the back. So instead of the typical 2, we now have 3. So they added an ultra wide angle camera, which has a 123-degree field of view, which is the same as human eyesight. So that should be great. I think every smartphone should have an ultra wide angle camera on it. It just makes sense. And you still have your typical wide angle and your telephoto. And what's great is while you can manually press to jump into each of the different lenses, you can just use the zoom feature to go between all 3 lenses very smoothly. Now, on the video side of things, you're of course going to be able to record all the way up to 4K, but what's nice is now we have the ability to record HDR content. So you're going to get that HDR 10 plus content right from your phone, which is great because a lot of people don't have access to an HDR camera, and this will probably be the first one a lot of consumers use. Now, Samsung also claims that you're going to be able to record extremely stable footage, and with that wide angle camera, this could be something that combats GoPros, where you won't even need one anymore since your camera phone is going to be able to do it. So that is something I'm extremely interested in testing. Now, up front, we've got a 10 megapixel front-facing camera, and this thing is going to be able to also record in 4K, which is a first for front-facing cameras, but the quality here is supposed to be something that rivals the rear camera, so that one's gonna be interesting. I definitely had to have Ari test it out with some selfies. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get any footage to show you guys, but there's this cool feature with the cameras where it's going to have a shot suggestion, where you're gonna be able to use the camera to help frame up your shot. So for those of you who have a little trouble getting your framing right, maybe you always have the phone a little bit crooked, you can't always get it right, this thing should help you get the perfect shot. I don't know how great it's gonna be, but I can't wait to try that out as well. And of course, you still get access to those gestures with the front-facing camera, so you can just kind of close your hand and have it take a selfie for you. And you can see that working with the little ring around the front-facing camera. Now, there's another cool feature with the new Galaxy line that I absolutely love, and that's the wireless power share feature. Basically, what it does is it turns the phone into a wireless charging pad. So if you have one of the new iPhones or any device that charges wirelessly, like the new Galaxy Buds, you can throw that right on top of the phone and it'll charge it with no problem. And turning the feature on is pretty simple. You just go into the notification center, hit the button, and boom, you're wirelessly charging whatever you want. Now, I think this is pretty cool because I know a lot of couples out there who one person has an Android device and the other has an iPhone, or even if it's not the iPhone, any other device, if you want to share the love, maybe your partner or your spouse does not have enough juice and you want to charge their phone for them, and there's no cables necessary, all you got to do is put the phone on top of the other and boom, you're wirelessly charging. And you don't have to worry about your phone completely dying from using this feature. It'll stop charging once it hits 30%, so it'll leave you with at least 30 for the rest of the day. Now, there's actually going to be one more model of the S10, and that one is going to have 5G. So we all know 5G is coming very soon, and this phone is going to be able to support it. And this one's a bit different from the rest. It's going to have a 6.7-inch display, which is just absolutely massive, but it's gonna be within the same footprint as the Galaxy Note 9. And it's of course gonna have the same specs, but it's also going to have a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. Now, in terms of getting your hands on these devices, for the 5G phone, is going to be exclusive to Verizon for the first half of the year, I believe. And then the second half, it'll come to the rest of the carriers like T-Mobile, AT&T, Sprint, and I think also Xfinity Mobile. Now, pre-orders for everything starts on February 21st, and they're going to be officially available on March 8th. Now, in terms of pricing, the S10e is going to start off at $749.99, and the S10 is going to be $899, while the S10 Plus will start at $999. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I want to know what you guys think of the new S10 lineup. Are there any features that really draw your attention? Is the pricing okay? Let me know with a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Real day in the life coming soon. Peace.